everyone, welcome to Esports Go. I'm Matt Brown.
And I'm Justin Gillerman. We begin with a look back at the big matches in the Overwatch League yesterday. And in our first matchup, we have the Seoul Dynasty taking on the Dallas Fuel. Could the Dynasty keep their streak toward the top going? Or could the Fuel right the ship early on and take down the upstart Dynasty? Fuel, Dynasty, Overwatch. Let's go. Man, was this a fun one to watch. The Dynasty were up 2-1 going into map 4, and the Fuel needed a win on Route 66 to bring it to a tiebreaker map 5. The Dynasty assault is solid and led by Munchkin. He either takes out the targets on his own or lowers them enough for his team to finish them off. What a good team player. Their attack ends at the last turn in an overtime finish. The Fuel are able to stop them though. They only need to make it past the Dynasty to win the map. Effect leads the charge on offense, taking out members of the Dynasty to set them back as they take point 1. Munchkin shows off his defensive prowess though, taking out key members of the Fuel before they can push the payload too far. It comes down to overtime right before the last point. The Fuel are taken out one by one though, and they are stopped. The Dynasty take map 4. They finish the day with a 3-1 victory over the Fuel. Wow. So this was a lot closer game than that 3-1 score really explains. There were only 1-point wins for each map, and Dallas snagged that third map after what seemed like a quick barrage from Seoul to start it, but Dallas is starting to get it, and the Dynasty kind of look legit again. So both teams kind of take something away from this game.
Well, yeah, and this was a match with a lot of good plays. Dallas just couldn't string enough together to top Seoul. Justin, the Dynasty are definitely back in the driver's seat, heading towards that tops contender spot now. Our next highlight features two teams in need of a legitimizing win, if you will. The LA Valiant and the San Francisco Shock. Let's go. We're headed to map 2, Lijiang Tower. The Shock had a convincing win on map 1, and the Valiant need to bounce back here to regain momentum. Dak leads the charge forward for the Shock, but he is booped off by the Valiant Pharaoh, and the Shock are missing their main support and have to concede the point to the Valiant. The Valiant's defense is stalwart, and they stagger their kills perfectly. The Shock never get a great assault before the round ends, and the Valiant secure a 100% to 0 score in that first round. Wow. In round 2, Caro starts the Valiant off with their best foot forward. He peppers down the Shock from the high ground and takes out a few members before the first team fight. The Valiant take the point first. Envy drops a self-destruct to try and get the Shock off the point, and they all survive and take out Envy quickly to secure the point for themselves. And the Shock now have the point. It is short-lived though, and the Valiant and soon manage to pick off the remaining Shock defenders to secure it for the Valiant. One last chance for the Shock to take the point. Caro turns on the tactical visor and goes to work. The Shock are taken out one by one. It's too late in the game for them though to make it back to the point, and the Valiant win map 2. They will go on to win the next 2 maps as well, beating the Shock in a 3-1 victory. All right, Justin, I hate to say it, but LA needed this win more than San Fran. I bet that 4-0 loss to the Dynasty last week still stings. They gave themselves a chance, a shot at stealing this match.
Yeah, so LA does get back on that winning track, though they gave up a map. I still feel this was kind of a straightforward matchup. The Shock defensively they weren't able to create any traps to lure the Valiant in, and we know that the Valiant have a more than respectable offense, and they put it out there, and they looked really, really good at times. Maybe they can build off this win and keep things rolling. Who knows? Two teams going in different directions. In a matchup of two teams looking to shoot their way up the standings, the Gladiators look to make it 2 out of 3 to start stage 2, while the Dragons look to finally notch a win under their belt. Let's see who takes the control in our last matchup of Wednesday. We're on map 1, Volskaya Industries, and the Gladiators are on attack first. The Dragons push the Gladiators into a small building next to the point, but their plan backfires. The Dragons' tanks are taken out quickly. They are left without a front line, and the Gladiators easily take point A. The point B assault is fast and punctuated by a pulse bomb from Asher to take out 2 key members. The rest of the Dragons are staggered out, making for an easy point B capture. The Dragons need a flawless assault of their own if they hope to take map 1. Fisher has something to say about that though. Big Goose supercharges him and he gets into the Dragons' back line, electrocuting and punching them all down. The Dragons have one last chance for point B, but they're staggered, and the EMP from Sombra prevents them from getting onto the point for overtime. The Gladiators win map 1, and their domination continues through the next 3 maps, and they take a 4-0 victory over the Dragons. So this was pretty much all Gladiators all the time. I think this game could be described by one thing in the whole, how Fissure played as Winston on Route 66, going 22-4, where the Dragons just had no answer on defense and very little life going forward. Also, Surefour again, having another stellar match on a bit of a hot streak for him lately. Let's see if it continues.
Yeah, it was good to see the Gladiators get to test some of their guys on different heroes. Albeit, Shanghai should one day not be the team to experiment against, but the Gladiators will need to keep rolling as they face the Seoul Dynasty on Friday. Now moving on to everyone's favorite segment, the heroes and the zeros. My hero for the night has to be Munchkin of the Seoul Dynasty. He made sure the Dallas Fuel did not have a fun time out there. His pulse bombs were on point and prevented the Fuel from winning a lot of maps yesterday.
And I'm going to go with another great Tracer player today as well and say Soon of the LA Valiant. The Shock looked really strong in the match yesterday on certain maps, but as the game wore on, the one constant for the LA Valiant was Soon. He played extremely well, and we saw that skill level he has, and he took advantage of the faltering Shock.
And I gotta say, Justin, my zero for the day has to be Roshan of the Shanghai Dragons. He was just being pulled away from his team constantly and taken out by the Gladiators before he could just even contribute to a fight. This was especially a problem on King's Row. The Dragons are still plagued with the same issues without any solutions. Hopefully, they can figure it out soon. All right, let's take a quick break. Stay with us right here. It's Esports Go. Hey, welcome back to Esports Go. A budding organization made a surprising announcement yesterday. Circa Esports said that they will be shutting down after they participate in the Evolution Championship Series, or EVO, in early August. Celebrating their 3-year anniversary last month, Circa had been known for sponsoring competitors in fighting games and were just in the process of moving their staff to Florida when the tough decision was made. Investments reportedly fell through suddenly, and CEO Mark Likich couldn't make it work past the EVO event, which was the last commitment they could afford. The big investments that fell through centered around Circa's spot in the upcoming Esports Battle League. That spot is now up for grabs, with more information to come.
Hero number 27 for Overwatch is here. Blizzard Entertainment announced that Brigitte Lindholm, the daughter of Tornborn, will be the newest addition to the hero gallery. Brigitte will be a support character, and from her backstory, she's a deaf mechanic just like her father, looking to provide defense for her team. She uses custom-built armor that will not only protect her, but her entire team, and her ult is called Rally, which will increase her pace and also grants armor to those around her. Some of her moves include Rocket Flail, which does damage to numerous enemies in a single swing, and Inspire, which is a passive healing move that works over a period of time. Brigitte is the first hero Overwatch has added in 2018 after she was revealed at BlizzCon last year.
Yesterday, 64 of Twitch's top streamers participated in the Twitch Rivals Presents PUBG Invitational. Streamers included Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Gold Glove, Gassy Mexican, Anthony Kongfan, Ammunition, Forsen, and others. And the winning squad was Team Specialman, taking home the money. After winning the second round, Shroud had this to say.
Listen, homie. You can compete in this game all you want, that's fine, but it's not truly an esport. Like, competing's fine. We're clearly doing it and we're having a good time, but you gotta treat battle royales more so in like a fun competition rather than serious, because you can't have a serious game where the circle tells you where to go every time and you just like you're sitting in a house and that circle lands on you 4 times like just happened to us. Like, the only way you could do that is if you completely spin battle royale circles, and I don't know how the spin circles, but as long as there's RNG circles, like, as long as that's a thing, it just doesn't make sense, you know?
Clearly, Justin, Bluehole has had the opportunity to step up and optimize PUBG for esports play, but they just seem indifferent in PUBG just becoming an esport itself.
Yeah, and you know what? Fortnite, it's your move. Now, coming up after the break, we'll preview today's Overwatch League matches. Stay right here. You're watching The Go.
Welcome back. It's The Go. Let's take a look at today's Overwatch League matches. Leading it off, it's the Florida Mayhem taking on the London Spitfire. Florida is probably just looking to take a couple maps against their stronger opponent. We'll see if London can focus on this matchup and not get caught up on their big match later on this week.
Yeah, this seems a little bit of a lopsided match, but the Spitfire have to bear down and take care of business. The Mayhem aren't the most explosive team, but they will take advantages of mistakes. London might tinker, which is always a good experiment, but should win this game pretty handily. Here we go, Matt. This is the one I'm looking for the most. Arguably the hottest team in the league.
Yeah.
The Fusion going up against what might be a top 2 team in this league, the Houston Outlaws. The matchup I'm looking at has to be Jake and how he utilizes his Junkrat versus EQO and his surprising but powerful Genji play.
Yeah, definitely a good one here with a lot of good individual matchups. Whoever wins this will be riding a nice wave of momentum through the rest of the week. And ending the night, the New York Excelsior play the Boston Uprising in what could be a potential trap game for the XL. They have a big matchup on Saturday, and they may overlook an Uprising team that always has some firepower in their pocket.
No doubt that Boston has looked a little weak, especially last week, but anytime you have a combo of Striker and Dreamcasper, anything could happen. I still think the XL are too strong for the Uprising, and that New York will win, but I believe it'll be a tough match, and Boston will win at least one map.
All right, enjoy those matches today, and while you're at it, don't forget to browse our website, challengemedia.tv, for all your gaming news.
Also, check us out and follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll be here all week with your news and highlights. Thanks for watching Esports Go. We'll see you next time.